Good day, viewers all over the world. My name is Engineer Yemi Akweshade. This is another time for STEM communication. We are looking at a topic in mathematics, sequence, and we shall be looking at this sequence because of its importance in diversity of ways and approaches. But for today, we are looking at the introductory aspect of sequence, which is order and pattern. Sequence as ordering and patterning a situation or a phenomenon. Now, this is very important and is very relevant to every human being, that we need to pattern our task, we need to pattern our activities. Every day we wake up, we pattern all that we shall do for that particular day in a way that we do not conflict with one another. Meaning, you take a particular step before another step. For example, you wake up in the morning and you needed to go to school. There are things you need to do before going to school. So those things have to follow a particular order. You cannot just wake up from the bed and start going to school. You've got to wake up, you've got to pray, you've got to take care of yourself, brush your teeth, you've got to take a bath, you've got to take your breakfast, then you've got to arrange things, arrange your books, your shoes, then you've got to enter a means of transport down to your school. So that pattern is very, very important. It is inappropriate for you to eat and then after that you now start coming back to brush your teeth. You can see that it doesn't follow a pattern. So this aspect of mathematics actually puts you in a way of you knowing the significance of sequencing your activities, your task. It applies in every aspect of life and it's something that we relate with on daily basis. So what then is sequence? Write this down. Sequence is the listing of activities or events or numbers or letters in such a way that it is reasonable. Okay? It is what? Reasonable. Now, that word reasonability means in a way that there's a connecting factor, a connecting common idea, a connecting common difference, a connecting common ratio that is identifiable such that that listing becomes reasonable. That's the sequence. So I take it again. Sequence means listing or mentioning or naming, okay, event or activities. But in this case, listing of numbers such that it follows a particular pattern. In this context of mathematics, it is listing of numbers, whole number, decimal number, fractional number, positive number, negative number, a mixture of this, in such a way that a pattern is created. That is sequence in a simple way. So now, let's look at example of that. Now, if you look at the natural numbers that we have, natural number. Hope you know what we mean by natural numbers. Natural numbers are the kindergarten number that you are exposed to from the early stage of your educational life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To infinity, it's infinite. It doesn't have end. We only know the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then when you have dot, 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 it means to infinity. Infinity means an 8 that is sleeping. A sleeping 8. It means when you have this and I put this here, it means it doesn't have end. We only know the beginning of natural number. Nobody knows the end. So natural number is a sequence. What makes it a sequence? If you look at it, as you move from one to the other one, it's increasing by 1. Look at this, 1. If you add 1 to this, it gives you 2. If you add 1 to this 2, it gives you 3. If you add 1 to this 3, it gives you 4. So it means you can continue to infinity. But so there is a common factor, a common variable, common difference, 1. Then it becomes a pattern. You can relate with it. And it means that I can jump to 1,000. And I know that what to follow, it will be 1,001. The next one will be 1,002. It becomes a pattern to infinity. Okay, so natural number is a sequence. Another example is even numbers. even numbers. Numbers that are divisible by 2. Number that can be divided by 2. The first even number is 2, then 4. The next even number is 6. The next one is 8. Then it also continues to infinity. It doesn't have end. Now, what makes this reasonable? What makes this a pattern? If you look at this, each of these is increasing by 2. Each of these is increasing by 2. Each of these is increasing by 2. Okay? 4 minus 2, 2. 6 minus 2, 2. 8 minus 2, 2. It means that this 2, if I add it to this 8, it will give me the next one, which is 10. If I add 2 to this 10, it will give me the next one, which is 12. So it becomes a pattern. Now, let's see odd number. Let us see odd number. Odd number. Does it form a pattern? Odd number. The first odd number is 1. The next one is 3. The next one is 5. The next one is 7. The next one is 9. The next one is 11. The next one is 13. The next one is 15. Then it continues that way also to infinity. Now, do odd number form a pattern? Did they form a sequence? It is when we analyze them and we see there's a factor that is consistent in the listing, then it becomes a sequence. Now, if you look at this, 3 minus 1, 2. 5 minus 3, 2. 7 minus 5, 2. 9 minus 7, 2. Okay, it becomes, that means there's a differential, a differential of a common difference of 2. So it means from this 15 now, it means that if I add 2 to this, I'll get the next one, 17. It must be odd number. If I add 2 to this 17, it means it gives me 19. It must be an odd number. So it means odd numbers also form a what? A sequence. Now let's look at prime number. Prime numbers. Do prime numbers form sequence? We will know now. Let's confirm. Do prime numbers form sequence? The first prime number is 2. Coincidentally, that 2 is also even number. So that is the only prime number that is even, 2. The next one is 3. The next one is 5. The next one is 7. The next one is 11. Not 9, because 3 can go in 9. The next one is 13. The next one is 17. Okay. The next one is 19. Then it continued that way also, perhaps to infinity. Now, let's see what happened. The difference between this, 3 minus 2, 1. 5 minus 3, 2. 7 minus 5, 2. 11 minus 7, 4. Oh, there's a problem. Then 13 minus 11, 2. 17 minus 13, 4. 19 minus 17, 2. So you can see that the difference is not common. We are seeing 2 and we are seeing 1. Can you see? Can you imagine? We are seeing 1, we are seeing 2, we are seeing 4. So it means that prime number does not form a sequence because there is inconsistency in the differences between the listing of the numbers. Did you understand that? Yes. So even numbers, natural numbers are sequential. Even numbers are sequential, odd numbers are sequential, but prime numbers do not form a pattern because of the inconsistency in the commonality in the listing of the numbers. Now let's look at these examples. We want to find out, we want to write the next term of this sequence. Now, to do that, you need to study. Because sometimes the difference may not actually be only addition or multiplication or difference or common ratio. There may be other factors that might have been put into consideration. Now look at this, for example, this one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now you need to study this. If I take away 10 from 5, it gives me 5. 15 minus 10, it gives me 5. 20 minus 15, it gives me 5. 25. So that means there's a consistency. It means I can know the next one will be that 5 you add to this, it will give you what? 30. And you can continue like that. Okay? But if I divide, let's say 10 divided by 5. 10 divided by 5. That is 2. Okay, but let's see 15 divided by 10. Does it give me 2? No. 5 here 3, 5 here is what? 2. This one give me 3 over 2, this one give me what? 2. So that means it is not by division, it is by finding common difference, subtraction. Okay, so that one you understand that. Now let's look at this. 6, 12, 24, 48. Now let's see this. 12 minus 6, that is 6. 24 minus 12, that is 12. 48 minus 24, that is 24. It is increasing by 12, by 6, by 12, and by what? 24. That means there is a doubling. There is a factor. So which factor is that? That is 2. If you look at this, they use 2 to multiply this. Is that not so? To get 12. It means you use 2 to multiply by multiplication. Okay? Use 2 to multiply 12, you get 24. So it means that if you use 2 to multiply 20 what? It gives you 48. Then how do you get the next one? The next one will now be 48 times 2. Then you continue like that. Is that clear? To form your sequence. All right. Now let's look at another one. Look at this. 36, 12, 4. Then we need to find the next term. Now let's look at this. This is reducing from a large number to a smaller number. By what factor is it reducing? Now let's see. This is 12 over 36. That is 1 over 3. Okay. Now let's see this. 4 over 12. That's also 1 over 3. It means that it is reducing by what factor? If you have 1 over something, that means it is reducing by what? 3. So it is reducing by 3, okay? By a factor of 1 over 3. So what they do is that they multiply this by 1 over 3. That is 12. 3 here 1, 3 here is 12, okay? And they also multiply this by 12. 1 over 3 by 12 to get 4. 3 here 1, 3 here is what? 4. Okay? That's how they get this 4. Is that clear? So it means that the next one, you multiply this by 3 also because you have to be consistent. That will be 4 over what? 4 over 3. Okay? So that means the next term will be 4 over what? 3. Then, again, 1 over 3 times 4 over 3. Okay? That will be 4 over 9. 1 times 4, 4. 3 times 3, 9. It means after this, the next one will be 4 over what? 9. Then it becomes a pattern. So what are they using? They are multiplying by 1 over 3. Because if you subtract 12 minus this, it will give you minus 24. 12 minus 36, that's minus 24. 4 minus 12, that will give you minus 8. So there's no consistency there, okay? Okay, so you have to start. It requires that getting number sequence, it requires a whole lot of thinking. Now, so you can practice this, you can practice all this, you can practice all this. But I want to take one of these. Look at this. I'll just do one for you here. It says find the first 4 terms of the sequence based on the formula. Find the first 4 times of the sequence based on the formula. Okay, let me do this number C for you. Okay, as we round up this topic. So we have Tn equals to n plus 1 divided by 3n plus 2. So they want you to form a pattern that will look like T1, T2, T3, T4, like that. Okay? Now it means that this n starts from 1, first term, for T1, n equals to 2 for T2, n is equal to 3 for T3, n is equal to 4 for what? T4, and you continue like that. You know, in sequence, by the time you attempt 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, just stop. You now put ... for continuity, infinite. Now, it means that the first one is that your T1, T2, T3, and then T4 will be this. T1, that is when n is 1. So wherever you see 1 here, what do you put? Wherever you see n, you put 1. 1 plus 1, 2, divided by 3 times 1, 3. Okay, 3n means 3 times n. That's 3 times 1, 3. 3 plus 2, 5. So this is 2 over 5. The next one, when n is 2, you find, okay, when n is 2, wherever you see n, you put 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 2 times 3, 6 plus 2, 8. So T2 is 8. You move to the next one. T3, when n is 3. Okay, wherever you see n, you put 3. 3 plus 1, 4. 3 times 3, 9. Plus 2, 11. Okay, then you go to the next one. When n is 4, you find your T4 when n is 4. So wherever you see n, you put 4. 4 plus 1, 5. 4 times 3, 12. Plus 2, 15. Is that not so? Let's do that again. 4 plus 1, 5. 4 times 3, 12. Plus 2, 14. Sorry, that's 14. Okay, so the numbers are, it can then continue. That's the pattern they say you should create. So we have come to the end of this particular topic sequence. So those of you that are registered with this platform, these are exercises. They also stand in as your test and exam. You attempt them, then you send it to me for course taking. So it requires thinking. You need to do a whole lot of thinking. Get this done and also try to attempt this also. Okay, even though I've done some of them for you. Anyone that is giving you challenges, will address it through other connecting medium. Once you are registered, keep subscribing, sharing, and support. And don't forget that you need to begin to order and pattern your daily activities. That is the take home from today's topic. See you next time. Bye.
Isn't the best place to find the lovers, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends sat